I can get into another AMA. The AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. So you can ask about anything. So the idea with the AMA, since I started doing these, is ask me anything. You can ask any question you like, really about anything, anything art and photography, marketing, business related, anything that we at art storefronts do. It doesn't matter if you're a customer or you're not a customer. So if you're on Instagram, all you have to do is hammer out a comment. If you are on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, same thing. Just leave a comment, and I'm happy to answer them. And get into it. And what I've learned as I've started doing these things, because it's all just sort of like a test, right? Always be testing. ABT. I have to come up with a subject because it takes a while for people to come up with questions, generally speaking. And so the first subject of the day is 16 days still. I believe it's actually 15 days still now, until October starts. And October is the start of the fourth quarter, and more art, more photography will be sold by artists and photographers directly from their websites and via live art shows in the fourth quarter. For many, more than the other three quarters combined, but a whole lot. And so it is the most important time all year as an artist or a photographer to have active marketing and sales campaigns going. Full stop. There is no better time all year long to be in the creative business that you guys are all in than right now in 16 days, 15 days. And just like historically, to give you some context, we used to live in a civilized world. Okay. And what do I mean by that? We would all go and have Thanksgiving with our families. And then the day after Thanksgiving is when the craziness would start, is when actually Black Friday would start. That is actual Black Friday, right? The day after Thanksgiving. And then they invented Cyber Monday. I mean, I remember when there wasn't even a Black Friday. I mean, a Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday, they just invented to keep Black Friday going. And then they just keep going and going and going. And what do I mean by that? You know, there's a day in China. Okay. It's the biggest single solitary e commerce event that exists in the world. It starts on 11/11. It's called Singles Day. And it used to be a day. And then they stretched it into multiple days. And now it's like 2 weeks. That's the biggest one in the world. Then Amazon Prime copied them with Amazon Prime Day. Okay. And why am I bringing that up? These sales, okay, these sales events that are being created out of thin air are registering tremendous profits for the merchants that engage in them. Okay. Now you might not think of yourself as a merchant, but let me tell you, you're a merchant. Okay. You are attempting to sell your art or photography. You are a merchant, an online merchant, an offline merchant. And Cyber Monday was no different than Singles Day or Prime Day. It was just a holiday that was invented out of thin air to further capture this whole Christmas buying season, this whole holiday buying season. And why do I bring all that up? I bring all that up to say it used to be we would have Thanksgiving, there would be Black Friday, and then it would just kind of be a run towards Christmas, right? All the craziness, holiday parties, getting all your gifts, buying things here, there, and everything else. Great time to be having sales. Well, now, since then, what happened was is that somebody realized, hey, I'm not going to start my sale on Black Friday. I'm going to start my sale a couple of weeks earlier. And what that'll do is people are getting in the mode for Friday and all the deals. And people are getting excited to start shopping. And we're all getting the little dopamine hits because people are saying sale coming soon. You get ready for it, right? So one or two merchants decided to move their sale up the week before Black Friday. And guess what? They had great results. And so the year after that, a whole bunch of more merchants started to move their sales up. And now what's happened is no joke, October starts and Halloween's in there, and people are just moving their sales forward and forward. Pre Black Friday became like the start of November, became late October, and it literally just starts. It's so convoluted at this juncture that the selling season literally starts in 15 days. It starts in 15 days. You have the opportunity to get several sales in the water at a point in time when the other merchants, the other companies, every single solitary brand you can think of is just launching sale after sale after sale after sale. And what it's doing is it's whipping up a frenzy. Okay. It's just whipping up a feeding frenzy of sorts. And that's getting everyone into the buying mood, right? Like, I need to buy, I need to buy, I need to buy, I need to buy. So my point in all this is, okay. And I'll answer your question, Debbie, in just a second. You're essentially just water skiing behind this crazy consumer demand that all of these other brands are whipping up in the fourth quarter. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, pre Black Friday, days to Black Friday sale, fall back to school sale. Like all of these are just working to get people in the buying mode, right? It's like chumming for sharks and Jaws. Like they're just dumping the blood in the water, and everyone is coming up to the surface, going, "Okay, okay, okay, I'm ready to buy." So really, all you have to do, okay, is make sure that you have a sale in the water, okay? Now, if you've never run a sale before, this is the first time to do it. If you have run sales before, wonderful. You're going to have that experience that you can leverage to get sales in the water during the most busy time of the year. My whole point in this whole thing that I was bringing up, 16 days till, is 16 days till the start of the biggest buying season all year. Huge, huge, huge deal. So, time to get ready. There is still time for you to do some pre-marketing. There's still time for you to contemplate your sales. What are you going to sell? What is a sale going to look like? If your customers, we are going to be walking you through every single solitary thing you need to do starting October 1st. And the game starts October 1st. It literally does. And then it's straight on in. What can you get done between now and then? So, okay, I still wanna cover quick wins, and I still wanna cover the sale thing again, but in the meantime, I'll answer some questions. This thing is an AMA. You can ask me anything. If you're watching on any of the other sites, here, there, everywhere, all you have to do is leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer. So Debbie's asking me, "How can I sell my courses as well as my artwork on the site?" Easy, Debbie. Put your courses in the site. That's it. It's a standard product item. You can sell courses all day long. Zero problem selling courses at all. You can put whatever you want in your art storefront store, really. But I like that you have courses in there. That makes me happy. And guess what? Best time to sell those courses, fourth quarter, Debbie. So that's what I would do. Um, yeah, what else? What was I gonna do next? Yes, that's right. Quick wins. So, one of the things that I've been pounding the drum on more and more and more and, crazier and crazier and crazier is the concept of the live art show, right? The concept of the basement sale, the concept of the moving sale, the garage sale. But leveraging a a a, a live art show to sell your art, sell your photography. And we had a post recently in Small Wins, and I'm trying to find it right now. I had it up yesterday and I've forgotten about it. But um, Small Wins is like it's our private Facebook group that we have, and the idea about it is like, hey, come into this group and post your wins, right? And so got an incredible one this week, and if I can't find it, such a good one too. I'll find it in a second. Just keep sticking with me. But the long and the short of it is, we had a new customer sign up, and she's in the process of getting her website all dialed in, ready to go. Fourth quarter is coming, everything that I've said. And her story is just amazing. While she's getting her website together and deciding what pieces she wants on the site and building it out and all the rest, she decided to have a basement sale. And she decided to have a basement sale before she even and I found it, by the way, so I can read it, before she even got the site live. So signed up, her website's not even live yet. All right, so there's nowhere even to send people to make the purchases. And so she's like, "Hi friends, I signed up 3 weeks ago. I'm so excited. I actually haven't gone live yet, but I'm okay with that. Since signing up, I've gone all out purchasing what I need to take good photos." So she's getting photos of her work done and getting that whole process sorted. And she realized she had a bunch of excess work sitting around, as many of you do, right? You've had work piling up for years in many cases, and your significant other would probably appreciate if you started moving some of that work, right? And so she ran a live art show, right? She ran a basement sale, sold 5 pieces right out of the gates before she even got her website live. So I look at that and I'm so excited about that. And I'm so excited about that through the lens of like, any time that you sign up with any website, really, right? Like they'll put you through onboarding, what you call onboarding. And the notion of onboarding is like, hey, you just signed up. Here are the things you need to pay attention to. Da, 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 da. It's like a roadmap to get you to wherever they want you to be complete. In our case, to get you to have your website live, to announce it and start marketing. And where was I going with the onboarding? I know. The doggone live art shows are so insanely effective. I'm almost contemplating changing our onboarding to, okay, run a live art show. Run a live art show before you even get the website up. After you've run the live art show, then get the website up because it just gets you to the aha moment quicker, right? And what's the aha moment? You all have a marketing problem. That's the most important thing that needs to be fixed. Turns out if you work on the marketing problem, great things are bound to happen, right? Great things are bound to happen. For those just joining, this is an AMA. You can ask me anything, anything about what you've got going on in your marketing stack, your business stack, things that you're struggling with, your biggest struggle right now, or anything that we do at our storefronts. We have 15 days till the start of Q4. Absolutely insane. So that means still times to get going, get your art up on a website, contemplate what you're going to sell and when you're going to sell it, and all of those good things. So that's what I got. And then as a final, I've got this contest going for um, our customers, and the idea is that they can run a live art show, post it in our small wins group on Facebook, and if they do that, they're entered to win. It's that simple. And what we're offering is like we have an in-house agency that does a bunch of stuff, and they can win an Instagram tune-up or a Facebook tune-up or a managed Facebook ads campaign or a sale campaign, a bunch of the stuff that the agency does. And again, I get this message yesterday saying, why would I have a sale? Why would I have a sale? If I have a sale, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to reduce the prices on my work and people are going to notice that. And then they're just going to wait around for a sale and they're never going to pay full price again. And I don't know where this contention comes from. My guess is it comes from like some sort of a gallery owner told them that it cheapens the work to have a sale. Every single solitary brand that I'm aware of, aside from two, has sales. Actually, one of my friends yesterday said, because I'm not a woman, I don't know this, but apparently some of the high end makeup companies don't ever have sales. Fine. Now there's three companies that I'm aware of. Whatever the high end makeup company is, whatever the Louis Vuitton is, and whatever the Tiffany's are. Those are the only three brands that I'm aware of that don't ever have sales. Everyone else has sales. So you're not at that level. Don't put yourself on that pedestal on that level. You can have sales. Um, and Laura, you're asking me, you can't reduce prices when collector. I don't know. You have to leave the rest of that comment. You can always reduce prices. You can reduce prices when it's a collector. You can reduce prices for any reason at any time. And the more expensive the art gets, the more the discounting takes place. The more the discounting takes place. Unless there's 50 buyers in line to buy a piece, then the collector that wants to buy the piece is going to beat you up on price. That's just how it goes. That's why you have to set your prices higher. Can't reduce the price when collectors pay current prices. No, you still can. You still can, Laura. Like I just I've never heard of any stories where it's like, okay, you have all your prices. Some collectors bought the work. This is what Laura's saying. Like, well, how can I reduce my prices if I sold some work to some collectors at a certain price? Like, aren't they going to be angry about it and upset about it because they bought work at a certain price and then all of a sudden it's cheaper? No, absolutely not. They're not. They understand that you're an artist. They understand that you need to run a business. But what you do, okay, and let's just give this whole situation some teeth because I love this question, Laura. Let's say Laura came out with a series and it had 10 pieces in it and they were all the same size and she sold 3 to a one collector, she sold 4 and she had just a couple left, right? And so what you can do that's respectable is you can email that collector first and say so and so, and let's just say it's you, Laura. So I would email you, Laura, and I would say, "Hey, Laura." Sorry about that. My doorbell just rang. I would say, "Hey, Laura. Um, really appreciate you being a collector. I just want to let you know that I've been sitting on this series for quite some time. You have purchased a few of the pieces. Here's what you paid. I'm trying to move the rest of the work and I'm going to be discounting the prices. And so I wanted to let you know that you can have first crack at any of the work. Not only that, I will give you a reduced and even further reduced price is a way of saying thanks for collecting and of course, I'll let you know of any future series. You do that. You do that, and they're totally going to understand. Like, look, you're a business. You need to make money. Things go down and up, down in price, sometimes up in price, and that's how it goes. But as long as you're transparent and you communicate with your collectors, like you should always be emailing your collectors first and saying, "Hey, I'm having a sale. It's coming up. Just want to let you know you could take advantage of the sale before anyone else. as a way of me saying thanks, right? Like if you just treat them like human beings and treat them like they're VIPs, they'll love you for it. They won't be bothered in the slightest, Laura. Um, and you can raise the prices right back up if that work doesn't sell, and then just keep going on like that. So that's the best way to do it. And again, everyone aside from high-end makeup companies, Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's have sales. They just do. Like you have to have sales. That's how you move the product. Human beings, you have to like zoom out a little bit, right? Like human beings need incentives to take action, right? We need incentives to take action. And one of the things that a sale incorporates is it incorporates a discount, i.e., the incentive, and then it incorporates scarcity, i.e., the sale is going to end. And so you have these two psychological triggers. You have the trigger of incentive, and then you have the trigger of scarcity, i.e., the FOMO that comes from this thing's going to end, the fear of missing out. So that's why a sale is effective. It just works. It just works. Like you have to do it if you want to be successful in this business. And I would go as far to say the two most important metrics that are directly reflective of how much revenue potential there is for an art or photography business is the size and health of the collector list and the number of sales run per year. That's it. That's it. At least from my rose-colored glasses, and my rose-colored glasses have more teeth than yours do because we have 5,500 customers, and I study who sells the most. I know what they're doing. I look at all of it, right? I look at the prices. I look at who's selling the most commissions, who's selling the most originals, who's selling the most prints, and you start to see some things that all of them have consistently, right? Number one, they all still have a marketing problem. Ha 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 ha. So true. Number two, they have collector lists they take care of. Number three, they have a ton of sales. They have a ton of sales all year long. And look, if you're just like I can't run a sale, I'll never run a sale. Fine, you're entitled to run your business however you see fit. But for everyone else, I think you should be running more sales. I think they're incredibly effective at moving your art, moving your photography. And guess what? Not everyone sees what you're doing all the time. Lots of people don't have any idea that you're running a sale. They're never going to see it. They're never going to have any idea that you even did it. They're not even in the market for art at that point in time. They're not going to be in the market for your art, your photography for the next 3 years until they get a new job, buy a bigger house, and move to the suburbs, right? That's how this game goes. It is the long game. And even if they do see the fact that you have a sale, all it's going to do is plant a little seed in your head like, oh, she's got some cool products going on. I need to check that out. Then when you have a gap, regular marketing in another sale, they're even more inclined to jump at it. And that's also why we raise our regular prices a little bit higher. But yeah, Laura, that's how I would deal with that. But for those just tuning in, this is an AMA, stands for Ask Me Anything. You can ask any question about anything art related. Laura just had a collector question, which was a good one. I love seeing those. But all you have to do if you're on Instagram is just leave a comment like Laura did there, or if you're on Facebook, you can also leave a comment, and I will answer them one at a time. And you guys are a shy bunch today, a shy bunch, I tell you. What else? I've already went over my 3 topics and covered them. Yeah, one other thing I would say too, and I've said this on a couple of my recent live streams, and I really I'm finding more and more and more, and the deeper and deeper and deeper I get into this business, the best analogies that you can use to explain the marketing activities that we engage in, to explain the digital strategies that we advocate, to explain the priorities of things that we should have you working on. All of them can be like couched or focused through this simple comment. The best way to sell art or photography is in person, face to face. Okay, that will always be the case. That's never not going to be the case. Once you know that, all we attempt to do is say, hey, whatever we're doing digitally, how can we make it as close as possible to that in-person experience, right? And a perfect example of this is why our websites look like what our websites look like, right? And I've looked at so many of your guys' websites that aren't customers. I mean, when I say thousands, I'm not hyperbole, thousands, okay? And I get that you guys are all creatives, right? But the sheer amount of goofy fonts and colors and digital best practices that you break when you build your own websites is astounding. I mean, astounding. And so, okay, if we know that your websites are breaking all the rules and have so much goofy stuff on them, it's going to destroy any chance of you ever selling any art. Why do our websites look so simple? right? And let's apply the rule that I just said. Everything that we attempt to do digitally is trying to get as close as possible, is just trying to mimic the way things go down in the real world. Okay. And where's the best place to buy art? Yes, it's in person, face to face. But what is sort of the best experience, the real world example? It's in a gallery, right? And what do you notice when you walk into a gallery? Pretty much every gallery the world over, blank, white walls. The art is front and center. There might be some fancy furniture. There might be some fancy sculptures that they sell sculpture. Otherwise, it is blank white walls with lights on the pieces in the pieces front and center. There's no goofy slideshows going on or a bunch of colors on the wall, okay, or crazy fonts anywhere. And there's a reason for that, okay? That is the best experience. It just focuses all your attention on the art. And so what do our websites look like? They're extremely, extremely simple. Why? Because it's to mimic the gallery experience, okay? To mimic the gallery experience. Now I want to do another one. And again, I'm sort of riffing on this concept that everything we attempt to do in marketing our art or photography businesses, okay, and I could even say art storefronts too, is attempt to analogize to compare it to what a real world example is. A real world example is okay, and I find this one to be absolutely mind blowing. Why do we do so many live broadcasts as a business, art storefronts? Why am I live on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, two places, and Facebook right now? Why do we encourage our customers to run as many live art shows as humanly possible? And this analogy is so insanely powerful. I want you to think of your art business focus through the lens of why do you want to go live? Okay. Why do you want to have a live art show? Your art business is no different than an art gallery inside of a mall. Okay. It's an art gallery inside the mall, right? And when you go live, what you're essentially doing is you're opening your doors. You're opening your doors to anybody and everybody that can come in. Okay. Going live, running a live art show, whether us art storefronts doing it or you doing it, is no different than your shop in the mall with the doors open. Okay. When the doors are open, okay, people can serendipitously come in. I.e., there's people in the mall going to meet somebody for lunch. There's people in the mall that are going to get a pair of shoes. There's people in the mall going to buy a suit for a wedding next weekend. And by having your doors open, by going live, they can all of a sudden walk into your store, check some things out, get to know you, potentially buy your product, right? And that's the power of these live broadcasts. And the more of them you run, the more your store is open. And guess what the mall is? The mall is Instagram, the mall is Facebook, the mall is YouTube, right? Like everyone are on these platforms going to do whatever that they are doing, right? You know, they're there to look at cat videos. They're bored and wasting time at work. They're on the couch at night with their spouse watching TV, meanwhile browsing Instagram and catching up. Just you by going live, those are no different than the people in the mall going to have lunch or going to return a pair of shoes or going to do whatever they're doing, right? Like that's the analogy. And again, it all comes back to this concept of anything that we attempt to do digitally. Think about what that would look like in the real world, right? And that mall example is so doggone powerful. Now, I'm not suggesting that you all have to go live all the time or you have to be live 8 hours a day like a store in the mall would be, but the serendipity of leveraging the social media platforms with live broadcasts is no different than you having your art gallery in the mall. There's people that are just walking by and you can just coax them right in. And it's so powerful. It's such a powerful analogy. Um, Laura is asking, what is some advice about going live? Are you a customer, Laura? Because if you're a customer, do you have any idea the sheer amount of resources we have on how to do this in the back end? Like massive. Let me know on that. Art by Laurel is asking, what's the best way to increase your email list? I don't really have one. Well, good. Step one is the desire to increase an email list. Step two is understanding that email lists, like on any list, are built one email at a time. Takes time, right? Quickly, I'm going to ask you too, Larry. Is there a popular print size purchased? No. There's the mid-range sizes, like not, very small to like the mid-range sizes, i.e., ones that can go on the wall in a normal house are all completely good. If once you start going like really, really big, then you limit your buyers because not that many people have spaces that big on their wall. All right, I'll probably come back and do another one this afternoon. I realize I got to go and I have an appointment, but Thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great day and 15 days till Q4.